Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing a gorgeous Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Perpetual. You can see and you can purchase this rose gold automatic perpetual calendar on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this exquisite ultra thin automatic winding Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Perpetual. Now, I don't get emotionally invested in every watch I showcase on the channel. I try to speak about each watch as though I were an enthusiast of the type, making myself the watch's advocate, but that's an intellectual exercise. Sometimes I find a watch that forces me to speak from the heart, and this is one of those watches. You can see on my 6 1/3 inch wrist, this is the traditional 37mm master case from the late 90s, early 2000s. 37mm, not including the crown, from 9 to 3. It's quite slim, 9.6mm in spite of the perpetual calendar and automatic winding. You can thank the 889 automatic base for that. From lug to lug, 42.8mm, so you can wear this watch with great proportion and style on a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference, but because of the sheer visual punch and gravitas of the black dial and the rose gold case, don't worry if you have a bigger wrist, this watch is still going to be a standout. Honestly, when you've got a personality this large, there's no wrist too big. Now, the watch is beautifully profiled. All of high-polished colored gold can be overwhelming, but not when the proportions are traditional and the lines are so sinuous and sexy. You can see there's a case band that runs horizontally, uniting the lugs from side to side. There's a strong character line lengthwise where the bezel joins the middle case, and then the lugs themselves are surprisingly subtle. As you can see, not only are they beautifully tapered, but there's a very faint bevel along the edge of the lug, from the lug top to the flank of the case. On the case back, beautiful. You can see the watch actually sits lower than its 9.6mm because it has a slightly cupped case back that sinks into the wrist. The strap is exactly what you'd expect, of high quality, black, rectangular scale alligator leather, monotone stitch, folded edge, paired with JLC's second generation deployant clasp. It's a little bit more substantial, a little bit better defined than the first, and in my experience, a little bit more secure on the wrist. It also adds a nice extra measure of heft, as it is my belief that these contained more gold than their double deployant successors. Now, the watch is effectively all about the dial. Sure, it's a beautiful case, graceful, handsome, and traditional, but the dial is what sets this one apart. You can see why F.P. Journe has reserved the rose gold black dial combination for his boutique exclusives. It's sensational. This dial is also beautifully balanced in cruciform fashion. You can see there's a gorgeous axis that runs from 12 to 6, starting with the luminescent index, ending at the hand-applied rose gold Arabic numeral 6, through the indication for the month, the year, the decade, the danger zone indicator just above the cannon pinion, the Dauphine-style faceted hands in rose gold at center, the moon phase, and a beautiful bosom style at that, and of course flanking you have the date and you have the day of the week, all adjusted via a single corrector on the case flank that moves everything in sync. So all you have to do is set the correct date for the month, and everything else, day, year, moon phase, moves in sync to display correctly. You don't have to do any math, you don't have to check any online references. And unlike the same module used in IWCs, you can't accidentally jump 2 or 3 weeks with an overgeared calendar system when you go to set the time. Automatic winding, the base is Jaeger-LeCoultre, the 889 ultra-thin automatic. The module is the Kurt Claus IWC fully coordinated, fully sequential perpetual calendar with year. You can see features that are used to make the movement thin, including the open barrel, and then you can see features that are used to make the movement accurate, including the Triovis micro adjuster. And you'll note that this is adjusted in 6 positions, not the standard chronometer 5, because Jaeger-LeCoultre does go the extra mile to make this movement both thin and precise, not just in the macro sense of the 122-year moon phase or the perpetual calendar out to the year 2100, but in the micro sense of being precise at chronometer levels over 24 hours. You can see the reversing rocker for the winding system, an old feature of the 889s that keeps the mainspring barrel winding in a single direction, and you'll note a beautiful circular Côte de Genève across the bridges as well as the winding mass. All of the screws are kiln-fired and oxidized, not dyed, not painted. This is beautiful traditional valet de jeu watchmaking, partnered with high complication in an unbeatable package. It even features, for those who like to set to the second, hacking seconds, 122-year moon phase, and hacking seconds. Juxtaposition, intellectually beautiful, emotionally, nothing more needs to be said. You can see this watch and purchase it on our website.